Hello, welcome back to another video from Charlie Talks Football. So today we're going to be talking about Endrick. Now, if you don't know who Endrick is, he's a 16-year-old Brazilian wonder kid who plays for a team in Brazil called Palmeiras. Now, so many teams are interested in him, all the top teams. You know, you've got Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, Chelsea and Newcastle, which is why I'm here to talk about him today, to talk about Newcastle's interest in him. Now, he's just broke into the Palmeiras first team this year. He's been scoring goals, you know, and he's got lots of potential to be a really top talent in the future. So the teams who are really interested in him are Newcastle, because obviously we've got a couple of Brazilian players in Bruno and Joe Linton, and also I really think that we're the type of player we're sort of trying to sign for January is, you know, young players who can come in, not come in straight away to the first team, but who can come in, maybe go out on loan somewhere, and then eventually come in, you know, top talents for the future. So, you know, this kid looks really, really special. Again, he's only 16. I've just been watching some of his highlights. He looks really good on the ball. Finishing looks good. Obviously, the league he's playing in, people just say, oh, I'm sure he'll flop if he goes to an English club or a Spanish club. But I don't think he will, because I think, you know, he's got that potential to be a top player. Now, Real Madrid are also interested in him, which, you know, Real Madrid and Barcelona are obviously two of the biggest teams in the world. So when they come in for a player, obviously it's going to make it a lot harder for Newcastle to sort of come in, because it's just going to be hard, you know, because Real Madrid and Barca are top clubs. And if I was him, and obviously he won't be a Newcastle fan, and Real Madrid and Barcelona come in for us, it's going to be hard, very hard for him to say no. So basically, if Newcastle were to reach an agreement with him, we can't sign him until 2024, because obviously he's in Brazil, he'll need a work permit, and he can't get that till he's 18, so 2024. So how much would this guy cost? Now, obviously, he has, I've told you before, he has a £75 million release clause in his contract, but that sort of, you know, we would want to play lower than that. So, I mean, maybe 50 million, which is a ridiculous amount of money for a 16-year-old, but obviously for a talent like him, you know, it doesn't really seem too bad. So it'll be interesting to see whether Newcastle can reach an agreement with him and his agent. Obviously, you've got to talk about like wages first. So obviously, with all these top teams interested, you know, it's going to be very, very hard for Newcastle to sign this player. But I think we can, due to the Brazilian players who we have in our team and how we've done so well. So I think we should say to Endrick, you know, look, we brought in Joe Linton, and, you know, at first things didn't really work out, but look at how well he's playing now. And we brought in Bruno, and he's just done brilliant. So I think when he sees, you know, them players, Brazilian as well, doing really well at Newcastle, and he sees, you know, the fan base we've got, I'm sure he might think, you know, I think Newcastle might be the best place for me to join. So, you know, this guy is a really, really top player. You know, you can see why so many teams are interested in him, with him, you know, being in a team, playing regularly as well, with just being 16 years old. And Newcastle did send their scouts to watch this guy a few weeks ago, along with Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Chelsea, all the top clubs sent their scouts to watch him. So, you know, this player looks like a really, really special player. Now, Fabrizio Romano, I'm probably going to talk about him quite a lot on this channel, but he basically said that the player's agent, which I believe is his dad, has basically came out and said that the race is still open for Endrick. No one's like ahead of the race, because there were some rumours that Real Madrid were in advanced talks to sign him, but he said that's simply not true. No one is like ahead in the race to sign Endrick. Obviously Newcastle are gonna try, whether we'll submit a bid for him soon or not. Now, apparently PSG submitted a £45 million bid that got instantly turned down by Palmeiras. So, you know, if Newcastle really do want to get this player, you know, we need to do something soon, because we don't want, you know, another team taking him from us, especially when we've been monitoring the player for such a long time. So I think this guy, obviously, we would probably send him out on loan somewhere once he comes in 2024. But, well, if he does come in. But I think this guy, you know, really has potential, you know. I think he could really, really do well with Newcastle and impress. And I think sort of if Newcastle pulled this signing off, it could really sort of be a statement signing, because, you know, we've just signed one of the, you know, best upcoming Brazilian talents, and it really would, I think, shock most of the league, because, you know, right now they're probably already shocked because we are just doing so well in the Premier League at the moment. And of course, once we get into Champions League football, well, if we do get Champions League, obviously it'll attract even more players to come, and certainly I'm sure Endrick will be looking at Newcastle now and just thinking, you know, how good we're doing. So I think Newcastle is actually a really good club for him to come to. You know, obviously we've had Brazilian players who have done well there in the past. You know, we've got a great fan base, and I think it's just a really perfect area of like development. So what I'll do is this will probably be my final video tonight, and then I'll do one tomorrow if there's any news. So I'll keep you updated on Endrick, just to see if any club has got ahead of the race. Obviously Newcastle is still interested in him, so I'll keep you updated on Endrick. You know, looks like he's going to become a really good player. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. I'm going to be doing much more content, FIFA content. I'm going to be doing a lot of World Cup content over the next few weeks, you know. I'm going to be doing content on England, you know, how I think they'll do, who I think will win the World Cup, my favourite Premier League player, so from each club. So I've got so many ideas, and I have had many ideas, so lots of stuff planned. So I'll see you later, and take care. Bye.